now we'll get into the meditation. So what I like to do in my meditation space is I use two particular crystals that are very, very powerful for really enhancing the meditative mind, but also the sort of the healing, right? As we uncover, transmute, and then really reinvent and transform the energy, right? So that we can move forward, right? The one thing about why people get very frustrated is they keep looping the same relationship, the same behavior, the same habit, and they get really angry, and then they get angry and angry, right? Because they don't want to go into it and actually transmute and move it, because it could be very painful to do so. But in doing so, you move the energy, you move on. And that's something that when you're in the pain, it could feel like years of dark night of the soul, as it was for me in healing the death of my father. But when you get through it and you start to see, wait, I moved on, I'm so transformed, you actually realize how it is worth it, right? Because you're not carrying it anymore. You're not from 25 to like 85 been carrying the whole thing and not really moving on, right? And then just feeling angry because we're angry because we're not in our life force. We're not actually moving the energy. We're not following our heart. We're not listening to our intuition, right? That makes us angry when we do that, right? Because we're in this life because we, on a soul level, on a spiritual level, we really want to have these particular experiences, but we have to move on from certain things to actually have those things that our soul wants, right? And it's a process, right? Like for me, years, right? So I like to I have a citrine sort of holder. I have in my left hand, which is my medicine hand, my female hand. And then I have black tourmaline, which is for clearing negativity, a dark crystal. I have it in my left hand, which is my holding hand, right? My masculine hand. So then I just hold it tight on leave the hands on the knees, and I just spine as tall as you can join me if you have these crystals. And I'm just closing my eyes and just feeling the balance, the harmonization between both hemispheres of the brain, both sides of the body, like they're kind of intertwining, like the Kundalini symbol, like two serpents sort of intertwining. So just visualize my hemispheres of the brain and both sides of the body are kind of intertwining in this Shakti dance. The masculine and feminine within me are dancing in collaboration with each other. That's pure creation, pure creation. So then when I close my eyes, I bring awareness as I breathe. I bring awareness to the relationships I've had. Even a relationship that I may have an attachment to, even presently, that I might not be with them romantically, sexually. It might have been months that we broke up, or even if we're friends, no longer friends, but there's still some sort of attachment because I think about them a lot, or have this kind of, I can just know I have an attachment. So just to bring awareness to any relationship that that comes to you naturally. It has triggered something within you, awakened something within you. It's very rememberable because shortly after the relationship, you went on a spiritual journey in some way, or you learned something very transformative. It put you in a particular direction that was very empowering for you. Even in the sadness and the grief and the feeling of like feeling terrible or whatever it is, it puts you in a direction towards healing. Regardless of what we feel, that the pain and the sadness and all of that, it moved you into personal power. It forced you to grow up in any way, to look at yourself. Just bring awareness to these relationships. Look at them. Now, I want you to look at the pattern. Find a pattern that you see in all these relationships. A pattern from the beginning to the end of each of these relationships, I want you to look at a pattern that you have. So when you could have 3 relationships, just focus on 3. We can focus on 5, 10, but let's just go to 3 that were most significant, highly rememberable, and just look and see a pattern, a very significant pattern within all of these relationships, the start of them and the end of them. So when I look at my 3 relationships, I see the word, I feel what comes to me naturally is men not being expansive enough, not knowing how to hold a relationship, not having a container for a relationship, not creating space for a relationship. That's a pattern. And then me being excluded, feeling no attention, right? So your pattern, look at your pattern. I'll just give you an example. Let whatever comes to you come to you. And as you do this meditation more, you will uncover more things. You will journal them out. And you will uncover the 3 categories and the 3 remedies that will help you to reinvent and redefine love. Now, if you have the pattern, I want you now to look at, if you're a woman, look at your father, or it could be a male, if you don't know your father, it could be a male caretaker or a grandfather, a strong influence in the years of 0 to 9 years old. Or it could be you're looking at your mother. If you have no male in your life from 0 to 9, looking at the mother and the masculinity within the mother. Because when you don't have a father as a girl, you tend to, your mother's masculinity tends to be your father. So your mother basically holds the father relationship in her. Then if you're a man, you'll look at your mother. Again, if you didn't have a mother, you'll look at the femininity around you from 0 to 9. A grandmother, an aunt. Could also be the female energy within your father. And just look at them and see your relationship with them. How is it from 0 to 9? How do you feel? Focus on your feelings, not so much the thoughts, the feelings. Do you feel received as a child? Do you feel supported? Do you feel cared for? Do you feel nourished? Do you feel nourished, nurtured? Do you feel given to? So just bring awareness. Did you feel given to? What is the main theme of your relationship with if you're father and daughter, mother and son? What is the theme? It will come to you very naturally. You won't have to think. It will come to you very naturally. So what comes to me, looking at the theme of my father and daughter relationship, is wanting my father to connect with me, wanting him to connect with me intimately, to be vulnerable, to be open-hearted, wanting like a deeper connection, like an emotional connection, not really feeling an emotional connection as much as I would have wanted. So look at your pattern. What is your theme? You may feel some grief, some sadness, you may feel some type of way. Let it come out. So let it fan out. So you're fanning it out, venting it out of the heart. If you have anger, resentment, guilt, let it fan out. And if you're really struggling, then really, I like to use this mantra: victory, victory, victory. As you imagine yellow light all around you, that will give you the power to face whatever inner demons or terrorizing, traumatic experiences. It will help you to overcome it, to transmute anything that's really, really heavy into transformation. So if it's really something heavy and difficult for you to work with, mentally chant victory, victory, victory. As you see the yellow of your solar plexus expand all around your body, and anything that's so heavy, you're going to imagine it turning into blue, gas stove blue, like an indigo blue. That will help you to really unlock the mind so that you can really breathe this childhood free, so that you can move on, so that you don't have to carry it. You can reinvent it. You can be reformed from it. Now I want you to now focus your awareness on the father and mother relationship. What is the relationship between your mother and father? What is that relationship? From 0 to 9 years old, 0 to 18 years old, go into your childhood. What is the main theme of the relationship between the mother and the father that you feel in your heart? What did you feel as a child, your relationship your mother and father had? What do you feel? What is the main theme? So what I get is my mother trying to help my father move on from the past. That's what comes up very, very distinctly for me. So your theme will be different. Again, it's going to be something that you're unlocking these emotions of what you felt as a child. And as you return to this meditation, you may go deeper and find even more sort of themes that will all kind of be connected and interrelated. Now I want you to look at the remedy. What is your remedy? Focusing on you as an individual, as an independent person, you as you, with your own soul agreement, your own soul contract with the earth, your own life purpose that is connected to your ancestors but not bound to them in the patterns of the past. Now connect with what brings you fulfillment. So just go into your own emotions, your own feelings of the soul level and see what is your fulfillment in love. As a unique person that is your own person. It's not your mother, your father, your lineage, your ancestors, your culture, society, ethnicity, race, sex. You as a soul being, what is your fulfillment in love? So for me, I get creativity, emotional fulfillment, being appreciated and supported wholeheartedly. That's something that is a remedy to my childhood, something that excites me, something that makes me feel elevated and empowered. Just focus on that. Whatever comes up, what fulfills you in love? And if you do not know, you can return and you can go deeper. And if you're having difficulty opening your heart, right, if you've been suppressed emotionally or stoic or kind of hard on yourself for a very long time, I want you to imagine your heart. I want you to see it in this pink energy, and that will help to soften the heart. So if you've been very closed off, very afraid, intimacy, vulnerability, just imagine that soft pink, and it will really sort of loosen up the breath. It will sort of relax the energy so that you can really start to feel into your heart and start to move past the kind of worries, that sort of choppy, rigid heart energy, and start to really get to the root of the fulfillment and love that inspires you. It makes you feel alive and makes you feel really, really connected to the earth. That's what love does. It makes us connected to the earth. When we don't have love, we don't feel connected to anything meaningful, and we tend to get lost in our own thoughts and have no feeling to really be led, no compass, no intuition, right? And that becomes very more difficult than it needs to be. Okay, so just feel that pink energy, and if you're really struggling, then also go into the lavender. See the purple, like a lighter purple. See that in the heart? That will also soften it. That will do a little of a deeper sort of massage of the heart energy if you really need to open it up. So for many of you men, you may want to focus on the purple, the sort of the lavender. And you can, even if you're a man especially, you can get lavender, the lavender leaves, and you can even rub it on your chest like this, like the leaf, and you can smell it, and then rub it. And as a woman, you can do this as well, right? Rub it like really firm, like almost so you feel it's red. And that will help to open up the heart, especially if you're really, really closed off. And then also you can put it under the armpits as well and rub it under the armpits, and that will also relax the nervous system. It will also relax all the sort of systems in the body, so that you can really loosen up and really like drop in and let go. Okay? So just see you in the remedy, the fulfillment, the soul level in a relationship. Okay, so we navigated through the pattern in the relationships. We look at the parent. We look at the parents together. We're looking at the remedy, our fulfillment of love as a unique, sovereign being. And then look at that extend into a relationship. See yourself now extending this remedy into a relationship. What does love, fulfillment in a relating to a significant other feel like in this space, in this higher vibrational space? And focus on a main theme that really excites you and inspires you and makes you feel good. So what comes up for me right away is a relationship relating to a significant other who raises my self-worth through their support of whatever it is I'm doing. And again, a lot of when you're looking at this relating to your significant other, the theme that most inspires you, it will be a sort of upgrade from most likely what your parents experienced, right? If you're a woman, what your mother experienced in relationship with your father. So for example, my mother, she felt her self-worth felt lowered in some ways, right? Through the kind of unresolved sort of insecurities, right? That comes up. So this is an upgrade, right? You're healing the generations, which heals your mother, your grandmother, your great-grandmother, your father, great-grandfather, great-great-grandfather, and so on. So just see the upgrade, see the reinvention, the redefinition of love that comes through your own remedy. You deciding to heal and evolve beyond the past into what is you as a unique person fulfills you. So really take back that sovereignty. So for me, I'm hearing emotional fulfillment, creative expansion, co-creation. These are big words, very expansive, very an upgrade. And just see it, feel it, smell it, ethereally smell it. And then see the traits of the significant other, the beauty, and focus on the beauty. Again, every significant person we have in our life, every human being has their healing through the human condition, which is different for everyone. But see the beauty, the beautiful traits, the beautiful, which is just so beautiful when you're with this person, looking at this person. What is the traits, the characteristic, that kind of beauty? And go into, you can go up to 5 things. This beautiful traits, characteristics about this person. And you can journal this out so you can remember after this meditation. So what is so beautiful about this person in that you're connecting to in your mind's eye? So I have my own. So in my mind's eye, I have emotionally stable, heartfelt, an emperor, like a professional, very wise in that field. I see supportive, and a forward thinker, forward mover, futurist. And then just see the expansion happening within you that is helping you to move on from the past, where we've been in that past on this planet, in all sort of generations, all ancestors, relationships of the past, and see yourself moving into the future that's very different from the past. The relationships of the future are not even comparison to the past, because there's a upgrade, a human upgrade, a healing that's happening. So see that healing that's taking place within you that brings about this rebirth and relationship, that grants you relationship that is completely different from parents, grandparents, so on, in a way that is aligned with you or your soul fulfillment, your sort of focus on this incarnation, what feeds you, what nourishes you. And then inhale, exhale, Inhale. Exhale. Begin to drop into your heart. You can open up your eyes, drop into your heart. Feel your heart burning like a white flame. Inhale. Exhale. Now bring the two crystals together. Bring the two crystals together here at the heart. And just feel that sort of emerging of energy as you feel the transmutation of whatever that you've gathered in the right hand. And then see the transmutation as this selenite clears away the energy, clears away, clearing the roadblocks, healing and restoring the peace within you. So just feel that energy adjustment. So you're holding these crystals at your heart and you're feeling the recalibration of your heart, the recalibration of your mind. You're feeling more open, you're feeling unblocked, and you're feeling more receptive to your feelings, your intuition, as they're helping you to navigate through these generations of the past, so you can create the healing in the present, so you can have the rebirth, the transformation, and the relationship that is of your higher soul path in this life. Inhale, exhale. So that is just a little meditation that you can do daily to really, if you want to do some heavy duty reparenting of your childhood, so that you can really set yourself up for success in relationship, be more magnetic to a relationship that fulfills you on the soul level, that helps, that is evolved beyond childhood unresolved sort of patterns that are repeating, right? That we may not even be aware of until we start to breathe into the mind, breathe into the heart, and start to really become direct, become truthful with ourselves in a space of compassion, not in a space of judgment. So everything I said is in a space of compassion, is a space of I'm being direct, I'm being open to how I feel as an individual, as me, right? So that I can heal, right? So that I can open up to love. So everything that I said was coming from a place of sacredness, coming from a place of I am being honest with myself so that I can really get to some root stuff, root healing, so that I can start to really open the door towards greater fulfillment, right? And that's going to take me really creating compassion, and it really starts with being honest with ourselves, right? In our own sort of meditative mind, right? That will help us to really get into the root of what it is we truly want on a soul level, right? What it is we truly need to heal, what we really need to focus on in a relationship, what kind of reinvention do we really need to have, what breakdown do we need to have in a relationship to really be reconstructed and reborn, right? So thank you for joining me